Chainlink, starting off on the monthly chart. We're going to start there, the bigger picture, look at levels there, and then we'll zoom in. We're going to go to the daily and then even the hourly to look at what we're looking at for the next handful of days. So let's get started right away. No fluff. Going right to the 50-month moving average. Say you're a big believer in Chainlink for the long term, not for the next 2 days, 2 months, maybe even 2 years, but maybe 10 years down the line. You think crypto's going to be around. You think Chainlink's going to be a big part of it. I'm with you, right? So where do we need to look at in order not to, have the panic up and down? And say you want to buy at 6, but you're worried it's going to go to 4. You want to buy at 6, but you're worried it's going to, you do whatever. Or just stay sideways, right? I mean, look at zooming in here. I mean, we've been on the monthly chart, right? We're basically been in this sideways trend for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're working on 6 months now, just bound between $8 to $6, right? So notice these 3 wicks here, right? All touching the 50-month EMA, 50-month, right? We're not looking at the 5-minute chart here. So if you're wanting to long-term buy, right, not financial advice, but that's the level you do it. If you close a monthly candle above $9, right, it's going to be about that pace for, whenever we start to move up again. That's the safer zone, right? Trying to, trade this chop is dangerous, and we'll see that even more as we zoom in. So if you're wanting to take as much risk as possible out, take all the stress out, when we close a monthly candle above the 50-month EMA around $9, there you go, right? Clean and simple, right? You don't have to make it more complex than that. So now, having said that, let's zoom in all the way up to the daily. So we went to the monthly all the way up to the daily, see what we're doing here, right? So now we got rejected off the 200-day, right? No surprise. Why? We've kind of been rejected off that price multiple times. So when you're coming into a hot level for resistance, at the same time you're at a major 200-day moving average, right? That's a pretty big moving average. That's probably going to hold, right? And voila, right now we're back in our range. I mean, it's even more evident on this chart of kind of our sideways zone here, right? All the way since really May. So now we want to look at kind of our, rough floor. Not that you can't break through it, but you want to look at the zone where you keep touching. And, you can, this is, give or take your opinion on where that zone, starts and ends. But, more or less, you want to look at the lower wicks and more or less the top of the kind of the closing, the bigger closes, right? You see that here, right? So 630 all the way down to 530, really. You do not want to see a close under 530. Just because price goes under there, you're still okay. But you do not want to see, if you flip this to closing prices, right, like this, right, the blue line chart, this only updates at closings. If you see this blue line closing under there for more than one time, now this will fluctuate throughout, each candle session. So this could move down and up, right, with the wick. But depending on where it closes, you don't want to see closes down here, or it spells a little bit bigger trouble. So a wick, just if we see a flash crash or Bitcoin goes to 14K in a matter of blink of an eye, like sometimes it does, I would say Chainlink and the rest of crypto is probably going to have a flash crash as well. So if we get down here, it's okay, right? You just don't want to see a close down here, and that would spell bigger trouble. But we're back at the range that we've been in for for 6+ months now. No big deal. We're still range bound until we can flip this level, right? Remember the 50-month EMA, or just above $9, right? On the daily zoomed in, it's a little bit higher than that, maybe 950. So close a daily above 950 or a monthly above 9, and you're got much better chance of doing very well. One more thing I forgot to mention here. Looking at this chart, you're going to say, I don't want to wait till 9. I'm going to miss all the gains. Well, really? Even if you waited until you got above your 50-month EMA, you're still going back to all-time highs. You're approaching 500% gain on that trade, even if you were to play it as safe as you really, really could, right? Wait for a close above 9 on the monthly chart, and then, enter your trade then, right? That would be the safest play. if you're worried about the day to day, right? If you're buying and then you're watching the charts or watching the price 47 times a second after that, you'll probably have too much invested, or you're too clingy to that said investment. So just having said that, right? So that's the daily, right? We've looked at the monthly, we've looked at the daily. Let's briefly look at the hourly. So if you are trying to swing trade, or you just want to know what the hell Chainlink's doing today, right? That's what the hourly chart's kind of for the next day to 2 days, hourly chart. So now, there are much better coins to swing trade than Chainlink, based on that sideways movement, right? Chainlink's just in the tide pool. Nothing's happening, right? You might get a splash every now and then, but there are some coins that are out in deeper water, so to speak. So let's zoom into the hourly, what we've done, the past several hours here, past couple days. What are we doing now, right? Let's put the Bollinger Bands back on, because those can be important. So we're at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which by definition of the Bollinger Bands, prices are low. However, there's a little bit of a warning sign here, is that the Bollinger Bands are diverging from each other. The mouth is opening. So when that happens, you can get a further drop. But, is it all doom and gloom? No, we haven't broken this low yet. So I would look for maybe a rough support around the $6 level. But what's the bad part is we did take out this low, right? We were kind of stair stepping up. There's a low, low, right? Higher low. And now we've reversed that. We've kind of broken that level, right? And this is why we're taking a little bit more of a tumble here. So what all eyes right now, after you break a low and start to reverse that trend, you need to be looking left and see what the hell your next level is. And right now it's right around that $6 level. Nice and flat there. Right, this low candle, wherever that closed at, if you can see through the crayons, that closed at 604. So that's where you do not want to close below again. If we close below that, then you got to look for the next low, right? Then we're probably going down here, 575, 574. And that's a big if, right? Maybe this holds, maybe we put in a higher low, maybe the low is in, at least for the short term, right? We're looking at the hourly here. So if we have a move up, right, if we bounce out of this, where could we be looking? Well, same thing. You want to look for a higher high. We've made this was the uptrend. We've broken that, at least temporarily, and we put in a lower high. So that's the mark right there. That closing candle high, 655. Take 655 out, and then you've reversed that temporary trend as well. That's exactly what you want to be looking for. You want to look for higher highs to reverse a downtrend, and lower lows to reverse an uptrend, right? That's textbook, right? We've put in a lower low now. We're flipping the downtrend, at least for the short term. If we want to flip that and cancel the downtrend, we must take out and close above 653. Plain and simple, right? Also, you want to note the bigger moving averages on any chart. So the 200, let's look at that, 671. So if we get up there, right, maybe resistance, because that would likely be about met with your previous local high, right here. Probably going to be somewhere in the vicinity of this as well. If we come up here, over the next, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, 5, 15, 45, just throw out random numbers there. I used to order, Chinese food, and the lady always says, right up the street from us, she always gave us the time limit was the same, 5, 15, 45 minute. So I use that whenever I can. All right, so that's Chainlink in a nutshell. The very macro granular level, hourly chart, versus the biggest monthly chart level. So hopefully that helps someone out there somewhere somehow. If it did, hit the like button. Try us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. You're subscribed. I know you are. If you've watched this long, I appreciate you. Both of you. Both of you that made it this far. Kudos to you. I'll see you on the next video. Chainlink out.